Hello, my lovely viewers. Welcome to another video of Sports on Fozan Harun channel and your best sports channel on YouTube. No doubt about that. And in today's segment, I'm going to look at the embattled ESL, the European Super League, the embattled European Super League, the ESL. And if it happens to be your first time of joining me on this show, please do well to hit the subscribe button and touch the notification bell. Send in your comment, as well as, most importantly, you share the program for most viewers who are not on this show to also benefit from this lecture as well as this feedback. And there's been talk about the European Super League for the past for the past week, most prominently in the sports tabloids as well as the sports media with respect to videography, in terms of video sports programs and all that sort. And honestly, the issue of the Super League came back as far as even I think earlier in 1998 or so. We're talking about a project that was thought about in the region of 23, 25 years ago. Yeah, the European big clubs had that in mind some more decades ago, almost 3 decades ago. And as you are all aware, decade in, decade out, or year in, year out, the dynamics as well as the picture with respect to who is a big club in Europe changes. And by that I mean even back in 1998, when the project was considered, the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City were not that big enough. If it had been executed back then, they wouldn't have formed part of it. But today's dynamics, I wouldn't waste so much on history. Let me fast forward come to today's dynamics of the Super League. And while so many aspects are up for discussion, one, the fans' power was exhibited in football. The fans' power cannot be underestimated in terms of modern football game. You saw what happened at the Stamford Bridge when more than 1,000 Chelsea fans prevented the club bus from entering the field to face Brighton in Chelsea's match against Brighton. You saw what happened out there, and it even probably someone arguably will say that it reflected in the performance of the team, in which Chelsea drew 0-0. And I think, honestly, the ESL is not dead as in its entirety. It will die or live. Its ability to die, to evaporate or be rekindled in future, depends on the actions of UEFA. What I mean by the actions of UEFA, you know, most of you who have researched and watched so much about football know that UEFA as an association makes so much money in football, but little of that money goes to the clubs, and the clubs do not get the fair share of that money that UEFA makes. And the premier reason why UEFA makes those amounts is because of these big clubs that UEFA tend to advertise as being participant of its competition. And so I feel UEFA should give the big clubs hearing and should maximize their money, as a matter of fact. And also, fans will always fight this scheme. Fans will always fight this scheme, as well as this innovations coming into our game. Because when you look at the table, fans are always at the receiving end. I mean, fans are always at the receiving end, because it's like a food chain. We fans will pay, and the fans will pay to the TV station or the sponsors. That's the TV station or the sponsors will pay to the clubs, right? It's a food chain, and the clubs will also pay to the players. The TV right or sponsors will pay to the clubs as money for TV rights, and then the clubs will also pay to the players as money with respect to that being classified as their salary for players. And so we, the fans, are the receiving end of this ESL and this innovative football competition that is about to come. And currently, I pay. I will make it personal because it varies in Qatar here. The payment of subscription for sports channel starts from 400, and then we have 550, 800 upwards depending on the package and the arrangement you want to get with the sports, our sports provider here, being sports. No advert for being sports. I'm just giving emphasis with respect to how the game is run relative to fans' contribution to the game. So I pay to being sports to every month 400 Qatari riyals, which translates to approximately around possibly $135 thereabout. And so when the Super League comes in, you are sure that I'm going to pay more. So definitely I should be among those who resist it. It's indeed a wake-up call to UEFA. Right, it's a wake-up call to UEFA with respect to these innovations coming into our game. It's a wake-up call for UEFA, and if they do not address this issue of giving the big clubs the fair share of the money that they get from sponsors, it will come back. They will regret it in future. It will come back to bite them again. And I also made an emphasis, if you could quite remember, when the issue of Super League came in prominence, it came in the media domain much more loudly recently. Though some of us in the sports game know that the issue has been discussed for some time now, and only as a matter of time that it may emerge to come out for people to also have the detailed understanding of what it's all about. And there can never be Super League without the 6 English clubs, the Premier League clubs. I told somebody, and I repeat on this platform, the Super League can never be successful without the participation of the 6 English clubs. And it has reached a time that the English club has been marketed and programmed in such a way that even quote and unquote the El Clasico involving Barcelona and Real Madrid, at a point in time they were playing game, and I had to switch and watch maybe Chelsea against Aston Villa, or Chelsea a different team altogether. And Chelsea even might not be playing at that same time that Barcelona El Clasico is going on, might not be even be playing the Big Six. Big Six, as in those of you who know Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, and those guys. Those are the Big Six. By now, I think most of you might have known the Big Six in England. And Chelsea and maybe Aston Villa or different team will be playing, and I will switch to watch Chelsea game, and then later when the Chelsea game ends, then I'll go and watch El Clasico. So that is the kind of marketing that has gone into the English game, that you can even sacrifice El Clasico and tend to watch the English game. Yeah, and it shows the power of the English game. And so I said, and I keep on repeating, that the Super League can never go on without the participation of the English clubs. Other than that, it will be El Clasico, not as somebody said, because almost all the teams have pulled out with the exception of Barcelona and Real Madrid. And then also in England, some of the other 14 clubs are saying those 6 clubs that went in nearly participated in the Super League should be punished, and so. I will advise the Big Six first before I come and advise the other 14 English clubs in the current Premiership setting. I will say that the Big Six should hasten with caution. They should hasten with caution. I know definitely if UEFA, as I repeated in the earlier part of the program, does not address the issue of the big clubs with respect to the kind of money that they make from the UEFA sponsorship competitions, this issue will come back again. As Fiorentina Perez said, and I do agree with him, it's on standby. It's never been cancelled. It's on standby. So, and they did it as a wake-up call. They meant it really, as I tell you, they really wanted to do it to organize the Super League. But because the brouhaha and backlash came in from the fans, it had to be suspended. And I think it's not over yet until UEFA does its homework well. And then to the other 14 clubs, I would say they shouldn't be arrogantly threatening the 6 clubs in England. Because without the Big Six, the other 14 clubs, the league will not be that competitive and much more appreciated enough across the world. And I'm saying that because nobody probably will go and watch Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Probably. It's debatable anyway. But somebody will want to watch maybe Crystal Palace and either of the Big Six, maybe Crystal Palace, Tottenham Hotspur, maybe Chelsea, Crystal Palace, maybe Manchester United, Crystal Palace, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Crystal Palace. So all the other 14 clubs should hasten with caution and shouldn't be rushing in saying that the 6 clubs should be punished now that they are back. And be that as it may, if it happens to be your first time of joining me, please do well to hit the subscribe button and touch the notification bell for me. It's free. Yeah, so these are the dynamics out there, the European Club Association there. And then we have the Super League potential participants are in there. The Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, City, and then Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then I think Valencia. Valencia is not part anyway. And then Olympique Lyon, Marseille, they are not part. Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund are not part. Yeah, they're not part. And then in Italy we have the Milan clubs, Inter Milan, International Milan, and then AC Milan, and then as well as Juventus, Andrea Agnelli, who happens to be the vice chairman of the European Super League. Andrea Agnelli was supposed to have been the vice chairman of the European Super League. That has now been suspended. And so many issues are coming up in the football engagement, and more news are going to pop up in the days ahead. And hopefully I may come back if, depending on issues that are cropping up. And now, Florentino Perez says the Super League is on standby. It's never been cancelled, and so hopefully the onus lies on UEFA to put in the appropriate changes to ensure that the game is loved and comes back once again by listening to the big clubs. Whether we like it or not, the big clubs, they run the show, and so the UEFA should listen to them. Thank you very much for having patience and to watch me on this show. Cheers, I love you. Please don't forget to share the program, send in your comment, as well as give me more likes if you enjoyed this presentation. Cheers, I love you wherever you are. Bye-bye. God love.